Thank you very much, Andy. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Purely Product webinar. As Andy said, I'm Jenny Hall, and I won't give you my story because we really don't have a lot of time and we have got a massive amount to cover. But I will just mention my background before forever because I think that's quite relevant. I was a stressed out IT support manager and trainer. So I think that'll probably tell you straight away that it wasn't a happy position to be in, but also it was nothing to do with health, nutrition, well-being, or anything else. And certainly I have GC O-level in general science. That's the extent of my scientific and biology training. So how did I come to be running a product webinar? Well, basically I run this for the team because I'm interested, because I love all that stuff. And so I volunteered to put this together quite a while ago. I have updated it a bit. And I'm telling you that just to let you know, first of all, that you don't need to be an aloe expert. And secondly, you certainly don't need to be from a nutritional well-being background. And I will talk a little bit about how I know what I know and how I've come to be running this webinar. Everything I'm going to share with you comes from a number of sources that are available to anyone. First of all, the company trainings, the advisory board, the slots at success days, the product trainings, so everything the company lays on for us on the website and live. Also, the information we get in our packs, so the DVDs, Dr. Atherton's book, which I actually read, David Irch's book about animals and aloe, and from attending a whole host of other trainings, and from attending business presentations and team events where I got to hear other people's stories and bits of information and testimonials from Andy's team and lots of other teams. So these are all sources that are available to everyone. And that's really where all my information comes from. I'm not going to make this too technical, but I will throw in a few facts and bits of information that are more, if you like, biology based. And that's really for us as distributors. That's not mostly for our customers. It's to help build our belief in the products, why they do what we say they do, and why they work. I have presented information to people from a more technical background than myself, including speaking to a vet across his operating table, which was interesting, and to a microbiologist that I met at an event. But mostly our customers are not going to be interested in a lot of this information. What they're going to want to hear, as we know, is stories. So I'm going to include a few stories about my experience and other people's as much as I can, because that also will give you, I hope, something that you can share with your potential customers. I won't be able to take questions during the webinar. Actually, the admin panel's not visible at the moment that lets me do that. I may be able to take some at the end, but I have put my email address on the last slide. So if you have any questions, feel free to contact me via email. If they're really technical, I will absolutely direct you to the advisory board. I don't give medical advice, and I don't set myself up as a real expert, but there are some questions that come up quite often, and I'll try and address them during the webinar. So that as it says on the slide, this is purely product. This is about the products, the core products. As you probably know, we have lots and lots and lots of products. So what I've focused on in this webinar is the top sellers, the key products. And I will make a brief reference to some of the others, but this is one of a number of webinars that I run, and this is the basic one. And it's about the products and a few hints and suggestions as to how to share these products with people and how to look after customers. So with that introduction, let's get going. So first of all, just a quick summary why Forever Aloe is best. Forever grows all its own aloe, so it has full control of the production process. It will never run out of aloe because it doesn't need anybody else to supply it. and absolutely can be certain about the quality of the aloe at every stage of the process, because Forever is the world leader in aloe production. Forever only uses a variety of aloe called Aloe barbadensis Miller, as you'll see on the ingredients for all the products containers. There are hundreds of variations of aloe vera across the world. It grows anywhere really in a hot, dry climate. But barbadensis Miller is the most potent. It's the most suitable for commercial production. That's why Forever uses it, and other people that use aloe generally use that as well. There's a variety that's used more frequently in the Far East, but barbadensis Miller is what most people use, and that's the one in the photograph you can see. Forever only use the mature plants when they get to about 4 years old, again because that's when they start to become most potent, so the aloe is the highest quality. And aloe plants will live up to about 12 years. Forever doesn't harvest the whole plant. It takes the outside leaves and lets the plant grow on till about 12 years. And it harvests the leaves by hand, which obviously again protects the plants. Now, most of you, I'm sure, will have seen an aloe plant by now. If not, do try and check one out. Because what you get from the plant is what you can see in the other photograph, a clear sticky gel that oozes out. That is where all the benefit is. Forever only use that in a leaf gel. You will see products that actually boast about using what they call the whole leaf. There's only one reason for using the whole leaf. It's cheaper. You get more aloe. The outer part of the leaf, the husk, and the sap, because the gel is not the sap, the outer part of the leaf and the sap contain high concentrations of a compound that's not very beneficial. The Victorians tended to use it as a purgative. They were big on purgatives. We don't, because the levels in the outer leaf can be quite dangerous. So companies that use the outside of the leaf have to heat treat the aloe to get rid of the high concentrations of that compound, and charcoal filter it for the same reason. That really destroys the delicate balance of all the beneficial compounds in aloe, because the biggest part of the gel is water. It's over 95% water. So you can see the actual beneficial compounds are there in quite small quantities. And Dr. Atherton's book explains, and if you haven't read it, please do, that it is the beneficial interaction of all these compounds that actually gives the aloe its absolute magic. So we only use the inner leaf gel. Forever's never used herbicides or pesticides or artificial fertilizers. In fact, the husk of the plants is used on the fields as a compost. And because the processing plants are near the fields, the aloe is processed within hours, which keeps it as fresh as possible. In fact, Forever has a unique process. That's what we'd call one of our unique selling points for anybody from a marketing background, because Forever use natural plant stabilizers to keep the aloe fresh. No one else can copy that process because they have a patent on it. And a bottle of Forever aloe, which had been stored with the seal on, so with the foil seal on it, had been stored for 5 years, was tested by the Food and Drugs Lab in New York and was determined to be essentially identical to the raw gel. So that's a testament to the quality of the aloe and also to the beneficial effects of these stabilizers. And these are really what make Forever aloe so unique and so magical. Now, I'm sure you've seen at business presentations the independent endorsement. The International Aloe Science Council, Forever were the first company to achieve that, and they have to regain it every year. This company tests the purity of the aloe, and that mark of approval is so well thought of that it has been forged on a number of occasions by other companies. Obviously, the products aren't tested on animals, and as we'll see, they're widely used on animals. That's important to a lot of people. It certainly was to me. And we have a kosher rating and an Islamic seal of approval. Obviously, the products are used across the world. So what I'm going to focus on quite a lot for the next few minutes is the aloe vera drinking gels. Now, I hope everyone on the webinar this evening is drinking the aloe. If we don't drink it, then how are we going to tell our customers about it? This is our absolute key product. 50% of Forever Living's revenue comes from aloe vera gel because it's so beneficial, but also because it's repeat business. Someone gets a benefit, they will drink it for the rest of their life, and they will order frequently. So what's so special? Well, first of all of our drinking gels meet the UK criterion for what is called a gel, which is that they contain over 85% aloe. Anything else is a drink or a juice. Ours is a gel. All of these are 85% plus. But it's the benefits of drinking aloe, and I'm sure those of you that drink it regularly, or those of you that were introduced to it before you actually joined the business, will know that the benefits are massive. So when I talk about the plain gel, the same benefits really apply to the other three as well, and I'll just talk about them briefly. So for the plain gel, what's it good for? Well, as Dr. Atherton says, it's really, really effective in three main areas of the body. First of all, skin. That's our outside skin and our inner skin, because our body is lined with skin, specialized skin in our lungs, our digestive tract, our reproductive tract, everywhere. And aloe is very special on skin. It's called a humectant. That means it penetrates through our skin right down to where the new skin cells are being formed. Not many products can do this. You can buy the most expensive creams and lotions to apply to the outside of your body, and they'll do a minimal amount of good because they sit on the surface, which is basically dead and dying cells. Aloe penetrates, and it does this through something it contains which are called lignins. That's the first bit of science. Lignins are compounds which are what we call inert. That means they don't do anything. They don't do any good, they don't do any harm, but they are carriers. And they carry the benefits of the aloe down through our pores because of their very small molecular size. And that really is important for the effects of aloe. It means that when we drink it or apply it, it gets into our bloodstream very, very rapidly. So whatever we're taking, whether it's the Freedom or the Berry Nectar, anything with added benefits, and even our supplements get carried into the bloodstream much, much faster. So aloe is beneficial on the outside skin and the inside skin, which means for people with chronic skin complaints, yes, applying creams and lotions may help, but someone who's got really serious problem, they'll need to drink aloe as well, and we need to share that with them. And you've heard Andy mention that I'm part of Amanda Hilliard's team. Amanda had a customer many years ago that I remember her talking about. This lady had psoriasis like you've never seen. She had it from neck to ankles and down to her wrists, and she'd had it for about 50 years. She was in her 60s. She never wore anything short, short-sleeved, open-necked. In my experience, external skin is the slowest to respond. But after a year of drinking the aloe and using one of our lotions, which I'll mention later, this lady's psoriasis had virtually cleared up. It took the full 60-day money-back guarantee period before she even started to have a hint of an improvement. So that is why we have the money-back guarantee. It can take that long. Our inner skin, obviously lining our digestive tract and our lungs and things like that, is also affected by aloe. And this can be particularly beneficial because of its anti-inflammatory properties for inflammatory digestive problems like IBS, Crohn's disease, diverticulitis. I have a customer who has only recently, after drinking aloe for quite a while, been able to eat an apple. Diverticulitis sufferers have real problems eating fruit and vegetables, which is, really difficult for them. Now, having mentioned a number of complaints where aloe is effective, I'm not going to go on about this a lot, but I would direct you towards some of the compliance information that's come out. And I'd just like to mention that please check out the compliance video. Talking to people is one thing. We need to be really careful about what we put in print or what we put online or on social media. So these are stories I'm sharing with you. Please don't post medical claims, because Forever as a company has to be really careful. However, I do want to give you a flavour of what conditions the drinking gel can help with. So the skin, also the immune system. And aloe is what is called an immunomodulator. It balances the immune system. So it can help with allergies of all kinds. Because when you've got an allergy, basically your body, your immune system, is responding to something it shouldn't respond to. It's overactive. Whether that thing is hay fever, pollen, whether it's cats, anything in your environment, your body is responding to something it shouldn't, and your immune system needs to be calmed down. But also people with an underactive immune system. Maybe it's been damaged by a virus, by medication, by stress. So aloe will boost the immune system. So the kind of areas where it can really help are, yes, allergies, asthma, eczema, which is another allergic reaction, but also problems with people who have complaints resulting from a problem with the immune system, such as rheumatoid arthritis, which is completely different from arthritis affecting the joints. Rheumatoid arthritis is a problem with the immune system, as are things like fibromyalgia, ME, which they used to call yuppie flu, lupus. All of these complaints may benefit from drinking aloe. And the third area where aloe can really help is with the joints. We have fluid in our joints called synovial fluid. It's a bit like engine oil. As we get older, it needs topping up and refreshing. It's the cushion of our joints that lets them move freely. And if it's not performing properly, we get joint pain and we have mobility problems. So aloe can really help with that. But everyone should be drinking aloe. It's good for your hair, your skin, your nails, your energy levels. It just makes you run at 100%. And here's a little bit of a flavour of why. It is a complete cocktail of nutrients. Vitamins. It contains a whole slew of vitamins, but one key point which I like to share is that it's one of only 2 vegetable sources of vitamin B12, which is very important. I can't remember what the other one is. It's something like alfalfa or sprouts or broccoli or something like that. But this is really important for vegans, vegetarians, but particularly vegans, because their diet always runs the risk of being deficient in vitamin B12. So that's something that we can share. And most vegans are open to looking at products like ours because they're interested in health and well-being. It contains an assortment of minerals. Minerals don't get as much publicity as vitamins, but they are just as important. We can't metabolize, our body can't use vitamins without the right combination of minerals. Enzymes, which are essential for all kinds of processes that are going on in our body all the time. Saponins. Saponins are cleansing compounds. They give aloe its cleansing properties both inside the body and in things like our soaps and shampoos outside the body. Amino acids. These again are incredibly important for a whole range of processes that go on in our body, particularly digestion. And amino acids are grouped into 2 categories. What are called required, which we can easily get and manufacture in our body, of which there are 20. Aloe contains 19 of those 20. And 8 essential amino acids, which our body cannot manufacture and needs to get through nutrition. Aloe contains 7 of the essential amino acids, and it's difficult to test for the 8s, but it may well contain that as well. So it provides things that are very hard to get from a good diet, even a healthy diet, because our soil is so depleted these days that our plants don't get the nutrient take-up that they used to. It's been estimated that Popeye, for those of you who can remember Popeye, would need to eat 10 times as much spinach now as he would have done 60, 70 years ago to get the same amount of iron, because of our intensive agriculture and the way our soil is depleted of nutrients and only has things like nitrogen added to make plants grow. Aloe contains salicylic acid compounds, and for those of you who think that's a bit of a mouthful, it's very much like aspirin, and it's what gives aloe its pain-relieving properties. However, aspirin has this unfortunate side effect of eating flesh, which is why you can get stomach ulcers if you get particles of aspirin trapped in your stomach lining. It will destroy skin cells. The compounds in aloe don't. They give you the pain relief without the stomach ulcers. It contains something called sterols, which are plant sugars, and that is a large part of the anti-inflammatory element of aloe. So it does contain a whole host of beneficial compounds, really too many to mention, and I don't want to get too far into the science bit. But that is why aloe is so good. It's the way all these things work together and the way they get into our system really rapidly. So then we've got berry nectar. This contains approximately 85 to 87% aloe with added cranberry and apple. So this conveys some extra benefits. The cranberry, and most people know cranberries are good for the urinary tract, so urinary tract problems, kidney problems. And the apple, the extra vitamin C, is particularly good for the lungs. The skin cells in the lungs respond well to extra vitamin C. So this may be the preferred drink of, say, asthma sufferers, but quite often it's just a flavour thing. People prefer the taste, it's a little bit sweeter. Bits and peaches is chunks of aloe in peach juice. So it is quite chunky, but you can whiz it in a blender. And children will often take this because it's much sweeter, and they can drink aloe, typically half a normal adult dose. But if you've put it in a blender, you can freeze it in an ice lolly if your child is a bit reluctant, and they're still getting their aloe. And if that seems a bit of a cop-out, I'd just like to point out that peaches, which are yummy, contain compounds called carotenoids, which are similar to what you get in carrots, which have certain nutritional benefits, including vitamin A, and they're also very high in antioxidants, and you'll hear a lot about antioxidants these days. I'm not going to go into huge detail of what they do, but I just would like to share a little bit about that. We have something in our bodies called free radicals. They're what you might call little vandals wandering around our body, damaging our cells, damaging our skin, and wreaking havoc. Our body can deal with these. Our immune system and our body's natural defenses can neutralize them up to a point. But antioxidants can help massively with this. So where do the free radicals come from? Well, they come from day-to-day living. Eating food, our digestive system, cooking food, these all generate something called free radicals. But we have an extra helping these days. Pollution, stress, lack of sleep, an unhealthy lifestyle, all of these things contribute to really massive damage from free radicals. And you'll see a lot of our products contain antioxidants. This is why. They help with our body's natural defense and also things like our skin. So they really are important. And it's nice to know that something that tastes as nice as peaches contains some of those as well. And my own particular favourite is Forever Freedom. Now, I was taking this in a small dose because I'm over 40. Yeah, I have to admit it. And once we get past the age of 40, our body loses its ability to maintain and repair cartilage, which is an important part of joints. So Forever Freedom contains added chondroitin, glucosamine, and MSM, which is a naturally occurring sulfur compound, which is part of cartilage. These are really important. First of all, they can help repair damaged cartilage, which is very difficult to do. But if you haven't got damaged cartilage yet, or you're not as old as me, but you do a lot of sport, this can help prevent cartilage damage. Anyone who does any intense sport or dance puts massive strain on particular joints and will develop joint damage in later life. This will help ward it off. So for me, I really felt the benefits of Forever Freedom a few years ago when I had a bad fall. I fell flat on my face and banged both my knees and got some cuts and grazes and felt a bit stupid. It was about 10 days later, my knees started to swell up like a balloon. I couldn't put any pressure on them, bent, and I was really struggling. I was x-rayed and they said I had damaged cartilage, and they were talking about elastic bandages, not a good look, physiotherapy, and possibly keyhole surgery. I went home and I started drinking gallons of Forever Freedom and taking more fish oil. Within a matter of days, the swelling had gone down. I could move my knees freely, and all I get now is the odd twinge when it's cold and damp. It made a huge difference. And also to my mother, who's now 85 and developed osteoarthritis in her left knee just a couple of years ago. She's very healthy. It was causing her really serious pain, and I did the same with her. I took her off the berry nectar, which will help, but only a bit, put her on the Freedom and told her to drink lots. Again, within a matter of days, she could walk freely, and she tells everyone about it. As regards the other products, I'm sure a lot of you have stories from someone you know who's taking the gel for things like IBS and Crohn's. For asthma, I can look no further than my friend and sponsor Amanda Hilliard. Chronic asthma from the age of 14, really serious. 3 weeks off work if she got a chest infection. She was self-employed. Don't work, don't get paid. She is to have to take steroids and sometimes would need to be on oxygen. She's not had an attack in, 15 years of drinking aloe. She still has a weak chest. She still carries an inhaler. She's not had to use it. It's made a remarkable difference to her health. So everyone needs to be drinking these, and these are our absolutely key product. Okay, so moving on, let's look at our skincare products. And I've already mentioned the effect of aloe on the skin and how important it is and how it's really different from pretty much anything else you can buy. So I'll just briefly mention all of these. If you think we're going to be here all night, I am not going to be talking in as much detail about these products as I did about the gels because they are so key. So we have our jelly, your medicine chest in a tube. It is basically what comes out of the middle of the plant, and most people know that aloe is good for burns. In fact, when I joined Forever, that was the only thing I knew about it, that I'd seen it on holiday. I'd seen people having sliced open aloe leaves laid on their raw and peeling skin. So it is good for burns and scalds, but it's good for so many other things. Bites, cuts, stings, any kind of wound. You can apply it in the most sensitive places. It's good for things that people don't talk about over dinner, hemorrhoids, thrush, athlete's foot. Well, I don't talk about them over dinner anyway. You can use it in your eye, dissolve it in some boiled water and let it cool down. And the same at your nose and your ear. If you get desperate and you've got a raging sore throat, you can squeeze it down your throat. I would advise squeezing it to the back of your throat. Don't let it touch the taste buds because it's not that great to taste. It's great for children if they hurt themselves. It stings initially, just briefly, and then the pain relief kicks in, and it's brilliant. It's just your medicine chest in a tube. Every home should have some. And it's just, as I said, what comes out of the middle of a plant. We have many, many testimonials. The company has
a report from the Nursing Times from a few years ago about its effects on leg ulcers in patients who are mostly bedridden, because it has what they call a scouring effect as well. I won't go into the detail of what a leg ulcer can end up like. It's pretty revolting, but what's in there needs to be cleaned out, and the jelly will do that, and then it will promote rapid healing. It does that because skin cells actually reproduce faster in the presence of aloe, and that's been shown in a laboratory on a petri dish. Adding aloe to some skin cells, they reproduce 30% faster, which obviously gives you improved healing. A few years ago, when I had an open fire, my son gave me something called a bow saw. It's for cutting very thick, hard wood, and it's got huge, sharp teeth. And for some reason, I managed to saw part of the palm of my hand. Ouch. It bled profusely and was really stinging. I dashed into the kitchen, got some aloe out, and smothered it. And within a few minutes, it had stopped bleeding, and it healed, and I have no scar. And it really was a nasty cut. Anything like that will respond to aloe. And we have so many testimonials for its effectiveness, even for very nasty burns. Next, I've put our propolis cream because really this is almost complementary to the jelly. I'll talk a little bit more about propolis later when we touch briefly on our bee products, but this is a very, very rich cream, which is aloe and bee propolis mixed together, nature's antibiotic. And this is just fantastic for dry problem skin conditions. I use it on my heels and my feet in the summer when I'm wearing open shoes and they get a little bit dry and cracked. It's fantastic for things like eczema and psoriasis, and can even be used for infants, very young infants. It's perfectly safe. It's not like steroids. It doesn't thin the skin. And you can put it on again, and because it gets absorbed, you can put it on again. So propolis cream is wonderful. It's also very effective on wounds when they heal. You know, when they start to itch because they're healing and they're dry, it keeps the skin moisturized. By the way, I've just remembered one little thing about jelly. People often ask about jelly and tattoos and occasionally stitches. My information is that the jelly shouldn't be used on tattoos after you've had a tattoo, because the skin heals too quickly. If you want to use one of our products when you've had a tattoo, then what's recommended is one of the moisturizing lotions. Same for stitches. Not all stitches, but as a rule of thumb, don't apply jelly to stitches. Apply one of the creams or lotions for the same reason. The skin can heal too quickly and it can make it difficult to get the stitches out. Propolis cream, what was my experience? Well, a number of people in the team, in our team, have young children, and several of them have got fantastic experience with baby eczema. But for me, it was a customer, it was the brother-in-law of one of my friends. He had developed over a period of time a really horrible condition on his fingers. It started on one finger and moved on, where the skin just got really, really coarse and thick. The dermatologist didn't know what caused it, probably some sort of allergy, but it got so thick and coarse and dry that it was cracking on his fingertips all the way down to the blood vessels, which is really horrible. He bought 2 tubes of propolis cream from me over a period of time, and he's never bought any more because it cleared up. He'd been, I think, quite skeptical, but he was blown away by the results he got. MSM gel and heat lotion I'd like to kind of cover together, although they are separate topics. MSM gel contains the same natural sulfur compound as Forever Freedom, and it is for joint pain. It's very soothing, and my friend's husband used it after he had keyhole surgery on his knees. If he'd drunk Forever Freedom, he might not have needed keyhole surgery on his knees. The heat lotion is used sometimes in a similar way for stiff, aching joints and muscle strains, and I will try and just give you a brief idea of the difference between them. But the heat lotion has wider use as a chest rub, even for children. You can dab it on your temples for a headache. and massage it into the soles of your feet at night if you have trouble sleeping, even for children, if they're a bit snuffly and restless. I've had great feedback from a couple of customers who say it's the best night's sleep they've ever had. I'm usually asleep before my head hits the pillow. It's a clear conscience, I think. But for those who aren't, I've had great feedback on that. And that came from a reflexologist colleague in the business. So there can be a little bit of confusion about which one to use when. And for any of you who saw it earlier in the year at the QLS training, Lucy Rodmell, who's part of Soaring Team, she's in Diana Page's group, is a personal trainer. And she did a little document outlining the difference between them. And basically, anything that needs cooling and soothing, MSM gel. Anything that's stiff and needs warming, heat lotion. And for athletes in the winter, that can really help to warm the muscles before they run or jump or whatever they need to do. Because any athlete will tell you if their muscles aren't warmed up, they can do serious damage. Aloe First is the next product I want to touch on briefly. This is aloe in a spray bottle. So it's really good for large areas of damage. This is great for children and animals and things when they don't want you to touch them. Things like chicken pox, sunburn, especially shingles, because it's so painful that people just can't bear to be touched, and it's soothing. It anesthetizes it so that if necessary, the gel can be applied. And that is fantastic if you've got really sore feet. The heat lotion's good, but if your feet are absolutely throbbing, spray them with Aloe First and they will just go, ah. It's also good in the summer to protect your hair from sun and sea and swimming pool damage. So that's really good. Next we have a couple of moisturizers. These are, if you like, from our base moisturizing range, and all the benefits of the aloe getting into the skin, not just onto the skin, are really come to the fore with these two products. So first of all, aloe lotion. This is slightly more liquid, the one in the blue bottle, and being in a blue container, people do find sometimes that men prefer to use this one. But because it's runnier and it spreads more easily, we kind of tend to recommend it for what we'd call the larger body parts. And if you're anything like me, you've got plenty of large body parts. So it is a little bit more of a body lotion. And it contains jojoba and vitamin E, both of which are highly beneficial for the skin. The moisturizing lotion, the purple one, is a little bit richer and thicker, containing collagen and elastin. And yeah, after 21 days, which is how long it takes our skin to renew itself from the inside, you'll definitely look at least 10 years younger. And you can tell your customers that. Well, maybe not. Okay, but it is a wonderful moisturizing lotion and particularly good for people with sensitive problem skin. A colleague of mine had a customer who suffered from something called itchy skin. For no reason, I think it's probably nerve damage. She itched, her skin itched all the time, and when she went to bed at night, she would often bleed on her sheets because she would scratch herself during the night. She used the blue lotion, which she found easiest to apply to her whole body, and it gave her huge relief. Now, of course, we have our aloe lips. Our Mighty Midget, the smallest product that we do. And yes, it's a wonderful lip balm, especially for anyone prone to cold sores. Very moisturizing. It's not made from petroleum jelly, it is aloe. So it's not greasy, it gets absorbed. And yes, I have customers who rave about this. But the other advantage is it's a stick of aloe. So we can use it in any way that we use the jelly. If we're out and about and we get nothing, and we've got nothing else with us, and we get a cut, a paper cut or a sting or something like that, even nettle stings, just apply the aloe lips and it will have all the benefits of the jelly. Suntan lotion, I've only put the lotion on here. The same principles basically apply to the spray. We're getting past the time now where we're going to be using probably a lot of this, but obviously people still go on holiday. And our suntan lotion contains all the benefits of aloe, so it moisturizes and really looks after the skin. It doesn't sit on it in a greasy layer. The SPF is 30, but without getting too technical, although people talk up the SPF of their sunscreen and, oh, you know, I'm fair-skinned, or my children, we use SPF 50, it's a lot more subtle than that. It's a lot more complicated. It's not just about how high the SPF is. And our aloe suntan lotion is the best. It lasts longer, and that's not only from what it says, it's from personal experience. It's not completely waterproof, you do need to touch it up, but it will last quite well even when you're swimming. And it's perfectly safe for fair-skinned people and children, and you will tan through it, because I know I do. The other thing is, of course, insects don't like aloe, so it will help to keep mosquitoes at bay, even when nothing else will. And finally, our aloe scrub. This is jojoba beads, and we can use this a couple of times a week as an exfoliant, an exfoliator in the shower and on the face, especially around the feet where, you know, we get a build-up of dry skin. It's very gentle. It's not crushed coconut husk or any other abomination, which we shouldn't be using on our skin at all. This can help particularly with acne. I mean, the jelly, the propolis cream, and the MSM gel are all really good for acne skin, as is drinking the gel. That's really important. But aloe scrub is one of the products I've had good feedback from about that. Okay, just a very brief mention of our personal care range. Liquid soap pretty much does what it says on the tin. We call it soap, so people know what to do with it, but actually it doesn't contain any detergents or any soap. It's aloe in a liquid form with its natural cleansing properties. Very, very concentrated. I always tell people all the products are concentrated. You only need a tiny amount. And you can use it in the bath, in the shower. It's great for people with sensitive skin. Children with eczema who can't use those brightly coloured bubble baths can have a bubble bath with this. Ladies, well, and gentlemen as well, if you're that way inclined, you can use it to take off makeup on damp cotton wool. You can use it to wash your face. I never used soap on my face. It's too drying, but I do use this. Gentlemen, you can shave with it. My neighbour won't use anything else now. And it's just a fantastic hand wash. But you can also dab it on spots on clothing before you put them in the laundry. It's gentle enough for babies. I always give this to anyone I know who has a new baby. It can help with cradle cap, but it will take off engine oil and grass stains. So it's powerful but gentle. Our jojoba shampoo and conditioner. I know we have other shampoos and conditioners, but I'm really talking today about the core products, so I haven't gone into them. Again, no prizes for guessing how they're used. But the shampoo is not only a lovely, naturally cleansing shampoo, it's great for anyone with dry, itchy scalp conditions, hairline psoriasis, that kind of thing. It nourishes the scalp and the hair follicles. I have heard stories about people drinking gel and using this and experiencing some hair regrowth. I don't want to get you too excited. We certainly can't claim that. I think we'd all be retiring on a massive income if it were true. But I do know of 1 or 2 people who have had this benefit. So if any of your customers do, that'll be what's causing it. It strips off the chemical buildup that you get from some commercial shampoos. Those ones that make your hair shine, they contain silicone. As Louise Riley says, you might as well spray your hair with Pledge. It's an artificial product. It damages the hair. It stops it from breathing. Ours is a natural shine. And again, it's really, really concentrated. So especially for those of you with teenage children, Don't squirt a great handful of it, you'll be rinsing it forever. And you can just use it to wash in the shower if you're going away. Don't take a shower gel as well, just use that. And the conditioner, a great detangler and conditioner. But you can also use that as an after sun or a body conditioner, again, if you're away. So very versatile and very concentrated. Our deodorant, you might not recognise this because I've just realised I've actually got quite an old photograph here, but it's still the same deodorant. Famous for what it doesn't contain. Aluminium salts linked with breast cancer. And I've heard Dr. Sylvia Chukwuemeka explain why the cells, particularly towards the nipples in breasts, can be affected by aluminium salts. And by the way, if you guys are switching off at the moment, I would like to say men get breast cancer too. And most of us get it on the left. Why? Most of us are right-handed. Our right hand is stronger. We probably apply more deodorant to the left side. So I don't want to scaremonger, but all my family use this, including my sons. It has virtually no fragrance, just a very light fragrance. Anyone can use it. It's a clear stick. It doesn't leave white marks on your little black number or your black AC/DC t-shirt, whatever it is you're wearing. It's very gentle because it's aloe. You can use it after shaving. It absolutely lasts for ages, 6 to 9 months or more, unless your son comes home like mine does and steals it. And it's recommended by some cancer units. They recommend cancer patients, breast cancer patients, find a deodorant with no aluminium salts. It's quite difficult to find, and I've had feedback from one of my customers to say that the one they did find wasn't very effective. Aluminium salts are antiperspirants, so we do sweat using this deodorant. We're designed to. It's natural. The aloe kills the bacteria that cause odour. So we might want to prepare our customers sometimes for that, and also for the fact that sometimes it may take a few days for their body to adjust because they're not using the chemicals anymore. And just as an aside, horses can use it. Okay, I'll just leave that with you. Now, horses, it can be applied round their mouth and nose to help keep flies at bay. As I said, insects don't like aloe, which also I should mention in conjunction with the shampoo because it's brilliant for head lice. Lots of children going back to school right now will be coming home with little visitors. I had great feedback from a customer when I was brand new in the business. She said, "Is it any good for head lice?" And I said, "I've got no idea." Well, I didn't put it quite like that, but she said, "I'll try it." And she had a couple of sample sachets, and she came back into work and she said, "I'll have 2 tubes of shampoo and 1 of the conditioner." Her little girl had waist-length curly blonde hair and was just a complete target and screamed the place down when my friend tried to remove them. So that's just a tip for the new term. One of my favourite products is our Forever Bright tooth gel. I have very poor teeth, it's genetic, always had a lot of dental work, they're too close together, always had to have a scale and polish, not anymore. Even my dentist said they were looking better. This is several years ago, and he was a very grumpy man anyway, and he was even more grumpy because my phone went off while I was in the chair. It doesn't contain fluoride, it again contains bee propolis, and together with the aloe, that kills the bacteria that cause that nasty plaque build-up. So at the end of the day, by about now, your mouth still feels clean and fresh, and your teeth are absolutely polished but not scratched because it's a gel, not a paste, and it is meant to be green. For kids, you can call it Shrek toothpaste, and they'll love it. And again, you only need a tiny amount on your toothbrush, just about the size of a petit pois. And then just very briefly, the bath gelée, all the benefits of the liquid soap, but with marine extracts. And it smells gorgeous. You only need a tiny amount. And the compounds it contains, used on a loofah, with diet and exercise and massage and lots of water, can help break down cellulite. That doesn't mean one quick flip with a flannel once a week, just before you go to work, that's not going to do it. But as part of a proper regime, it can help because aloe penetrates the skin, and the marine extracts are really beneficial. If you haven't tried it, try it, smell it, it's gorgeous. And just very briefly, Gentleman's Pride aftershave. Now, you men on the call, what do you do with your skin? You really abuse it. First of all, you spray on some chemical, soap or foam or something. Then you scrape it with sharp metal, and when all the skin is nicely exposed and raw, you slap on alcohol. Now, I don't know how many of us ladies would treat our face like that. It's not part of my skincare regime. Use the Gentleman's Pride. It's soothing, it contains rosemary and chamomile. They help soothe the skin, and they replace the lipids, which are fatty compounds that help hold the skin cells together. I think holding skin cells together is always a good thing. But these lipids are lost through the use of detergents in foams and soaps. So if you haven't used the aftershave balm, do use it. And ladies, make sure the man in your life gets it as a gift. He will thank you for it, and it smells really nice. Okay, just a very, very brief section on our amazing bee products, because Forever is also the world's biggest beekeeper. Here comes another of my jokes. That doesn't mean we have the world's biggest bees. Forever has an area the size of that bounded by the M25. So imagine the M25 and all the area inside, beehives, up in the Sonoran Desert in Arizona, away from pollution. In fact, we're so keen to keep pollution away from these wonderful bees that the products are all harvested using electric carts, and no bees are harmed in the process. For collecting the pollen, the bees fly in over little brushes which brush some of the pollen off. So, beehive products. First of all, I just want to briefly mention royal jelly. I'm sure a lot of you know this is what's fed to the queen bee, and it's basically what makes her a queen bee. She gets so much extra nutrition, it actually changes her and changes her role, and changes her hormones. It contains a mass of vitamins, A, C, D, E, and the B complex vitamins, especially B5, which again is not always present in many foodstuffs, amino acids and minerals. It's good for skin, especially mature skin. Anybody my age really needs to be taking royal jelly. It's good for energy levels. It's good for PMT, mild depression. I'm not talking about someone who's clinically depressed and seriously ill, but mild depression. Royal jelly can really help with. Can help someone who doesn't sleep well, can help with stress and high cholesterol. So it is a really beneficial product. Propolis has a 5,000-year history. People know the benefits of propolis. It's what beekeepers call bee glue. You find it inside beehives. Beekeepers hate it because it gums up the works, quite literally. But a beehive is more sterile than an operating theatre. Bees have no immune system. You get an infection in a beehive, it will spread. And beehives are full of dead insects, which get stung to death if they invade, bits of leaf, anything that can decay and cause bacteria. So propolis coats all of these in a sticky substance that seals them and stops them from decaying and causing viruses and bacteria. And that's the way it works in the body. It's antiviral. So you know if you go to your doctor and you say, I've got the flu, he'll say it's a virus, take some paracetamol, drink lots of water and rest. I can't help you with a virus. Bee propolis is effective against viruses. This isn't a supplement that most of us take every day. It's one to take when you can feel you're going down with something. And provided you know you can take it happily, then you can take 8 or more a day to head off whatever it is you're going down with, be it a cold, flu, man flu. It will really, really help. It's antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal, anti-everything. And it is one of the few substances that's been shown to be effective against the MRSA virus. So if you know someone going into hospital, get them to take it. Bee pollen is really amazing. It has more nutrients per calorie than any other nutritional product. Vitamins A, C, D, E, K, all the B complex vitamins, 22 amino acids, minerals, enzymes, coenzymes, fatty acids, carbohydrates and protein. And if any of those have gone whoosh over your head, don't worry, they would have done mine. Just Google them. All you need to know is it's good for 2 areas. First of all, hay fever. People need to start taking this around about March before the pollen comes out, as it desensitizes your body to pollen. And people get great benefits with this. And the other area where it's great is energy. Because of the nutritional quality, you could live on bee pollen, water and fibre. I don't recommend it because it tastes like cardboard, but you could. And I know of one distributor whose daughter kept asking her to buy more and more, and she couldn't understand why. And then she found when she went out clubbing, she was selling it to her mates for £1 a tablet. Nature's high, a legal speed. So there you go. Okay, I'm just going to briefly mention animals in our care. Animals can use everything in the range. Obviously not much call for mascara and lipstick, but they can use, as you've seen, deodorant, which you might not have thought of, shampoo, soap, conditioner. They can use the jelly, the propolis cream. Animals drink the gel. Horses particularly drink gel quite freely, as do dogs, and the dose is scaled up appropriately. So a big horse with joint problems will drink a bottle of Freedom a week. They make great customers and they don't complain about the taste. Plus the vet formula, which is very similar to Aloe First or Aloe Activator, contains aloe, allantoin, which helps with wound healing, and also soothing herbs. So we have a great range of products for animals. Now, those are most of our core products. I'm just going to briefly point you in the direction of other products to explore. Obviously, our Clean 9 program is just off the scale at the moment, and it is a really fantastic one to promote. Can't promote it if you haven't done it. So if you haven't yet experienced Clean 9, I really encourage you to do so. Alongside that, we can use the body toning kit. Oh, by the way, I should mention, just briefly, sorry, I've forgotten, all the Beehive products, if someone's never taken them before, as a precaution, they should start with a quarter or half a tablet and then scale it up to 1 or 2 tablets as required. It's just worth mentioning that. It's very rare for anyone to have a reaction, but just as a precaution. The body toning kit is just brilliant. Warming, tightens the skin, can help shift cellulite. Absolutely brilliant. Used alongside the Clean 9, but a body toner is a quick fix. The effects are not permanent. It's great for that special occasion when you want to get into that little black number and it doesn't fit anymore. 2 or 3 times a week in the run-up to your big event, and it will really, really help. The Aroma Spa collection, again, you need to experience it. Based around lavender, it's relaxing, moisturizing, absolutely wonderful. Have a bath last thing at night if you're a bit stressed. It will really help you relax. You need to experience it. Forever do a huge range of supplements. Obviously, I can't cover them now, but one thing to point out is they are natural ingredients, not synthetic. A lot of supplements can be produced artificially. They are less what are called bioavailable. The body is less able to use them than natural supplements. That is what is key for Forever supplements. I really, I'm afraid, can't go into RG Plus in any detail. We do a whole training webinar where RG is one of the primary components. But you can see its benefits and what it's used for. Basically, one of the main things is improved blood supply and blood circulation. hence some of the benefits that you can note. One thing I would like to say about RG Plus though, it's not suitable for animals. So if anybody ever asks, no, that's a big fat no. It's particularly not suitable for dogs. It can be quite dangerous for dogs. Again, our skincare collections, have to experience them to feel the benefits. They are wonderful. What skin wants most, as we get older particularly, is not to dry out, so to be hydrated, which is where the benefits of aloe and our skin products really come to the fore, because they get down to the new skin cells, they plump them up, lines show up less, the skin doesn't feel dry and papery. And our brand new Flawless collection, our makeup is made from aloe. It's something called professional quality, and this is to do with how finely it's ground. And some of the ladies on the call, some of the men for all I know, may know that means that your eyeshadow doesn't crease, your lipstick stays on longer. It's great for people with sensitive skin because it nourishes the skin, it feels luxurious, and it's made from rare pigments which gives you a deep, intense, lasting colour. Okay, that was a quick run through of some of our core products. I know I've missed some, but really just explore the products. Make sure you use them. If there are products you haven't tried yet, order a new product for yourself when you place an order. So I'm just going to briefly finish by running through how we share them with customers. And if you're brand new and you don't know what I'm talking about here, please do ask your sponsor or your upline for more information. So we have our launch evenings, our aloe evenings. We can have pamper evenings using the facial products, foot spa evenings, which are absolutely brilliant and a great laugh. Everybody brings a bowl and 2 towels and they do their own feet. You don't do them. You can have Clean 9 evenings and demonstrate the body wrap kit. You can have fun with this, you know. Wine might be involved. We have our trial packs, our product, our pup packs, personal use product packs. And again, ask your sponsor or your upline how we use these to introduce the products to people. We can do events, school fairs, Christmas fairs, dog shows, fetes, anywhere where there are people. And we can help you to approach people, to get them involved and interested, to get their details, and again, to get them using the products. I do talks from time to time to WIs, ladies groups, anybody. I'll guest speak anywhere, and I've done really well retailing to people at those talks, talking to people you know, people you meet. And I don't mean banging on endlessly, I just mean listening. If you know they're particularly interested in natural products, they're complaining about their sore knees, their chesty cough. Have you ever tried anything natural for that? Just listen, offer. If they want to try a trial pack or they're interested in looking at the products, great. If they don't, you know, their loss. And I've put Christmas on here. I'm really sorry. This is a photo of our Christmas range from last year. This is a brilliant opportunity, not only for Christmas events, but to give our products as gifts. Get people exposed to them. Give them our perfume. Give the gentleman aftershave balm. Give them a tooth gel with a toothbrush, or, you know, the bath gelée with a loofah. Do them up nicely. Make them look appealing. Use our gift wrapping and our gift packs. But give. Why would you buy products for people from Boots or wherever when you can buy them from your own shop? Let people experience the products by giving them as gifts, and not just at Christmas, but that seems to be quite timely at the moment. And when we have customers, we need to look after them. We need to follow up initially to make sure they're using them. This is especially important with gel customers. One of my first gel drinkers was my next door neighbour, and when I went back to her, she said, well, I haven't started using it yet. I wasn't sure how much to take. Okay, I'd given her a leaflet explaining it. I live next door. She hadn't asked me. She just had it sitting on the shelf. That will happen. So we need to follow up, make sure people are happy, make sure they know how to use the products, see if there are any issues that we can help with. And then we follow up regularly. And we get to know over time when our customers are going to need new product. I have it as a point of pride that I ring them first, just to see what they need. And this will vary according to what they use. If it's the gel, then we need to follow up with them every 2 to 3 weeks, depending how much they're taking. And to enable us to do this, we need to keep records. Again, your upline or your sponsor will show you how we keep records so that we can track our customers. It's really simple, really easy, and you don't ever then need to worry about whether you should have phoned this person or that person, because you've got a record. It's really simple. I know that we're going over a little bit, but I would like to just share briefly the importance of following up and going back to customers. A lady went to an aloe evening at a friend's house. She was invited by her friend, but the distributor was someone from her village. Now, she liked the products. She bought a lip balm and she bought a night cream. And she said to the distributor that she really liked the products. She would buy more when her existing stock had been used up. She was an ideal customer. She had a reasonably good job. She liked natural products. She liked skincare, and she was quite interested. She also went on a year later to join Amanda Hilliard's business and become a manager with 3 managers in her downline, because that was me. The lady arranged for me to get my product, and I never heard from her again. A year later, I saw this business, realised I liked the product, and I registered with Amanda. So follow up, because customers can become team members. And a thank you to loyal customers. I give my customers, my regulars, little things from time to time, maybe a hand sanitizer, maybe a tooth gel, something they haven't tried. I give them something at Christmas. I give them cards. I appreciate them. I tell them how much I appreciate them. I give them an aloe glass when they're on their 3rd bottle. I appreciate my customers' loyalty, and I tell them in every way I can. I try to do something nice to them. I chat to them. I get to know them. This is a relationship business, and we are nowhere without our loyal customers. So that's how I manage my customers. I make sure they know about new products, but basically I talk to them and I keep in touch with them as much as they want. You do get someone occasionally who just wants to buy it and run, that's fine, but as much as they want. And finally, this is where I got everything I know from. As I mentioned earlier, this is what I would recommend anybody to do if they want to find out about our products. I never started this business with any kind of suitable background. This is where I have learned everything I know, and from other distributors, so talk to people. Okay, thank you very much for listening to me this evening. I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope you've got loads out of it. As I say, I find it hard to restrain my aloe mouth, so I have gone over a little bit. I don't think we've really got time to take any questions now, but feel free to email me over the next few days and I'll get back to you as soon as I can with an answer, or recommend somewhere where you find an answer. Thank you very much for listening to me. Thank you, Andy, for inviting me on this evening. I feel very privileged to have been asked. I hope you've enjoyed that.